Ayy, this ain't a drill. Only time I'm playing is on the field. And when I'm on the field, no, I got mad skills. And you know we bout to eat this a fast meal. Y'all gotta pay for this heat like a gas bill. We keep on coming back, so yeah, they mad still. 716, make them pay me some bad bills. Red, white, and blue like Superman, so you know we eating at the Super Bowl. Kill the competition, set up the funeral. Josh Allen catching all the shots you go for, we callin' blitz. Ready to start, we ain't calling no quits. I'm the #1 draft pick. A lot of y'all talk, but I ain't hearing it. Only listen to Keyshawn and him. Talk about the Bills dominating on the field. All our players got them skills. Buffalo don't make a kill when we talk about the Bills. Dominating on the field, and our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill.
And yet again, we are back. The Buffalo Bills got big smoke with the Jacksonville Jaguars in the big smoke. I bet you didn't know that's what they call London, did you?
Big smoke. In the big smoke.
In the big smoke.
That's a word alliteration. All right.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I don't know why.
I don't know where that came from, but hey, that's good. That's good. We'll let it ride.
All right. What's going on, everybody? Listen. The Buffalo Bills have an opportunity to make something right that they haven't had an opportunity to do in 8 years.
What you talking about?
Stay tuned to find out what that is. What's going on? It's the Post Podium Podcast. I am your co-host, Aramis.
And this is Key.
And we are back again. This is week 5, baby. Week 5, man. The Bills are 3-1.
3-1.
Going into London for a 9:30 game with the Jacksonville Jaguars. How you feeling about that, Key?
You know what? I'm feeling pretty good about it. I'm feeling really good about it, actually. But what I'm not feeling good about is they're playing for a rival, as we talked about last week. We'll get into that a little further after into the stuff we heard, kind of, because I heard some things, and I mean, my stomach hurt just a little bit.
Well, let's get to it. I mean, you know, if you're going to hurl, you might as well hurl on camera.
Oh, man. On camera. Well, let's see. What I heard was for the travel arrangements, what they're planning on doing is flying to London. Actually, they should be on the plane now, if not very shortly. As you guys know, this is actually filmed on Thursday, but by the time you see the show, they'll already be in London. But what they said was they're hoping that the players actually stay awake all tomorrow once they arrive. They're going to stay awake the whole day and not sleep as much on the plane so that they can be good and tired, get to sleep by, I think they said, 5 o'clock or so, which is 10 o'clock our time. And
so this is how they plan to conquer the jet lag.
They plan on conquering the jet lag by being more sleep deprived and then sleeping good. And then I hope they got some Starbucks over there. They don't need a cold brew. All of them. Cold brew city.
I don't think it works that way.
I don't either, because I don't think I would make it through a game. My bowels wouldn't make it through a game on cold brew. So
I mean that's another key point too.
Yeah, just don't wear white pants.
Oh man, well they are wearing white pants by the way. They're wearing blue jerseys, white pants, blue socks.
It's gonna be fun.
I mean, you know what? If you don't have the same sleep schedule, if you mess that up, you kind of mess up your bowel schedule at the same time.
Yeah, your body's not gonna know what to do, and those fish and chips aren't gonna hit the same.
No. I listen. I've heard the food in London is not great.
Have you seen it?
I have not seen it.
I've seen pictures of it.
You've seen pictures?
Yeah, I've seen pictures of it, and it leaves a lot to be desired.
Oh, all right. Well, enough about the food. We don't want to get into insult in London.
No, I don't want to talk about London food because it may actually be good. I don't know. I'm gonna go to London one day and figure it out for myself.
Yeah. But so let's get into stuff we heard. I mean, this is a 3-1 team versus
We already started. That was some of the stuff we heard that they were flying in London on.
Are you sleep deprived, bro?
Of course.
Okay. a little snappy on set today.
No snaps. No snaps.
Oh my gosh. What else we got?
Let's see. Unrelated to the Bills, but how about the prep work that the $1 Million Analysts do? Did you watch the game where Houston played Jacksonville? This is actually my prep work.
Did I watch the game? I really didn't get a chance to watch the game. I saw some of it while it was happening. Because I was watching Red Zone.
Well, the reason why I asked that is very simply this. Devin Singletary busted one over the left side and got him just across the midfield stripe. And the announcer said, see, there's that breakaway speed we're talking about. I said, wait a minute, what? Who are you talking about? Devin Singletary? Check your notes. The best he ever ran was a 4.59. So, I mean, I'm not saying he's a slug, but for a running back, where you have Raheem Mostert, you have Devin Devin over there.
A-Chain.
Whatever it is this week. A-Chain. Matter of fact, we beat him. So we can call him whatever we want.
Right.
Devin Achane. I'm going to call him Achane just because.
We have officially arrived into Aaron Rodgers territory with this team. We own him.
That's it. So, I mean, you're talking about guys that run at the speed of sound, and you want to call this guy breakaway speed. If that was the case, he'd still be in
ran
Buffalo.
What, a 4.6?
4.6 something, 4.63 or something like that.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say almost a 4.7.
Almost, actually, it's 4.68.
At
Yeah,
5'7". He's
5'7", 201 pounds, 4.68.
So it looks even slower at that size.
It was slower, but those little legs sure was moving.
That's probably why he looked fast.
That's exactly why it was
same thing we dealing with Hardy. Hardy ran a
Yeah.
4.5 or whatever he ran. And
Actually, yeah, he ran a 4.35, but they said a 4.2. Yeah, no, never mind.
No, when I looked at it, he ran a 4.4 something, like a 4.48.
Well, yeah, he ran. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He ran a 4. He officially a pro day, so that tells you right there. A pro day, he ran a 4.48, but they said he ran a 4.35 somewhere. I don't know where. Somewhere.
Okay, we'll let him have it.
Yeah, I'll let him have it just for now. I mean, he was good last week, so we'll let it ride. For you guys that don't know, I'm looking at my phone today. Why? Because for whatever reason, it won't transfer
weird.
over.
I'm so used to seeing the notes and following along with you.
I'm sorry.
Nah,
so everything's going to be a shock for you now.
Actually,
this might be better.
It's exactly what you want. There's
Not at all.
At least one moment where you tell Junie to put the camera on me today.
I'm a fish out of water right now, so bear with me here. Let's see. Good. Jacksonville, according to the Locked On Jacksonville podcast, they were actually high on Osiris Torrance. They thought they were going to take him for their guard. So, I mean, that's not documented or anything that came out of their front office, but he thought all the tea leaves read that Osiris Torrance was going to be a Jacksonville Jaguar. So, I mean, regardless of whether he was going to be a Jaguar or not, I'm glad to have him because he's paid dividends for our team already.
No doubt.
I mean, like I told you, to me, the best offensive lineman we have, and he's just getting started.
Yeah, it was shocking when you look at the Bills' ranking in the run game. Let me see if I can pull it up here real quick. Their rushing offense, they are 8th in rushing offense yards per game at 138 per game.
Mm-hmm. That's up from probably dead last year. If you take out we can't just say take this out, take that out, but take all Josh Allen's runs out because he's not a running back. So let's do that. That's valid.
Yeah.
You're dead last. You're last. I mean, there's no way around it.
Yep.
And it's probably not even close, honestly. So figuring the fact that Josh Allen is probably scrambled at an all-time low this year so far. First half production that we have, it's not as good as you would like, but it's better than it used to be. So let's give James Cook and our other 2 brand new running backs a chance to cook back there and get their feet under them, and we'll see them, especially when they play weaker D lines, because you figure all the teams we played, with the exception of Miami, I'll say, hasn't had but anything less than a stellar D line. Last week was supposed to be Spencer Brown's week off when it comes to who he was playing against, so that tells you right there.
Yeah. I mean, the Jaguars' defensive line is I would say they're average to slightly above average, but they do have Josh Allen, who's a great pass rusher, and he's given the Bills' offensive line problems the last few times we've played them. We lost a game to him last year that we had no business losing to him.
Was that last year?
Or was that 2 years ago?
I think it was 2 years ago.
It was like the 9 to something game.
Wait, was that 2019? Hold on a second. Let me pull that up because I can actually grab that pretty quickly.
Okay, but yeah, I mean, Adam Gotsis is probably he's that high motor guy on that defensive line. Their nose tackle, Fadukasi, he's your prototypical average nose tackle. He's not going to be that guy that's going to, push the pocket or anything like that. He'll be pretty good against the run. I don't really know too much about Robertson Harris. I would have to look into him a little bit more, but I'm familiar with Gotsis and Fadukasi. I noticed this while you did you find your stuff yet? Okay.
I didn't want to cut you off. You were rolling there. November 7, 2021, we lost 6-9.
6-9. I knew it was 6.
Yeah, we lost 6-9. Just a poor outing. I mean, that was one of those deals. That was a trap game. I remember that being a trap game where everybody's like, "We're gonna win," and obviously that was not the case. I think wasn't that the game where the sideline wasn't even paying attention. I believe that was the game where they were talking about the sideline wasn't even paying attention to the game. Yeah,
our sideline.
Wow. They said they were so out of it. Jacksonville was over there doing all their stuff and cheering and making it rowdy, but our sideline was quiet and whatever.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy because on paper when you look at this roster, it doesn't look like a team that's supposed to give the Bills problems the way they have,
Mm-hmm.
right? Excuse me, Darius Williams is their best corner.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, he came from the Jets.
I don't know where he came from.
But no. I think he came from L.A. He came from the Rams. But anyway, that's their best corner.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know what the ratings on him are. I didn't get a chance to look that up yet. But defensively, they are, let's see, opponent rush per play percentage is they're 10th. So, let's see, 10, 12, 8, 8, 8. So, I mean, against the run, they're a pretty good team, right? But against the pass, they're bottom third of the league.
They're good against the run. I think it's kind of deceiving though, because you look at, like we said, we talked about the Titans, Devin Singletary and what's his name, Pierce.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were gashed. That first game was very messy. That Texans game, they had numerous penalties. They had guys out of position. They had guys that just, So I mean, they're good, but if they show up like they did against the Texans game, they're good to be had. I mean, they really haven't played anybody that should have creamed them yet, except for they played the Chiefs week 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I think did they win that?
No, they played the Colts week 1.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, that was the Houston played the Chiefs.
Yeah, it was that game was 31-21. Jaguars had 105 rushing yards in that game.
And not to mention, and I wanted to bring this up. This is very, very informative. Why are we doing this so fast? We
got a lot to get to.
We're getting off of this. No, we're going to the game already.
Okay.
So let's backtrack off of that for a second here. Let's see what else.
Wait, did it come through? Is this it?
No, that's not it.
Oh.
I'm working on it while we're talking because I think I know how to do it. But what else do we have? Per Aaron Rappaport, Colts running back Jonathan Taylor, in his first comments to reporters since his trade request, says if somebody wasn't committed, they wouldn't be here. He says his health was the main goal, and now he's healthy. Taylor also says the contractual issues in the offseason are a thing of the past. Whatever.
Yeah, it sounds like you just need to go ahead and get these paychecks for the rest of this year and be out.
It sounds like I tried. Nobody wanted to get what I needed to get out of here. So let me just shut up and do what I can to not upset my fan base, my teammates, and everybody else has got to play with me.
Yep. That's what it's about now. Can you just be a good teammate and tough it out?
That's all it's about at this point in time. Let's see. Oh, for you Bills fans out there, not so much for you, but for guys like myself. Wait a minute, because you're a good egg. You're a real good egg. 8 o'clock Sunday. What's that, people?
8 o'clock Sunday.
8 o'clock on Sunday.
Church service, maybe.
Hey! Let's go, whole cold. 8 o'clock. We can drink on Sunday.
Oh,
because of the game.
Yeah, that's right.
You're a good egg.
Hoko looking out.
I can tell you right now, I am not going to be in condition to drink at 8 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. That's a whole nother level.
You're already on a sludge bender from the night before.
Man. Well, maybe I still be hungover. I don't know.
Maybe.
But man, you got to be dedicated to get to a bar at 8 o'clock, and that's what it is. Because you can obviously you can drink at home.
Check this out. I don't know if you heard this. My wife told me that there's a church that's doing their church service at a local sports bar, so that as soon as the service is over, they could just go. They could sit down and watch the game right then and there.
Yo, he means come as you are for real. Wow.
I mean, you sitting there and you just like you praying and you reading the Bible.
Right.
And you looking at them beers being poured over there. You like, oh Lord Jesus. Right. You sipping that holy water, pretending they got some hops in there.
Thank you. Hallelujah.
Oh my gosh.
But nah.
That's funny.
So yeah, so that's something that I mean, I know people aren't too high on was it Governor Hochul? But there's one thing she's done for you.
That's cool. We don't do politics, but that was good.
No, we don't do politics, but because I don't follow it that often,
no,
like that.
same.
But I digress. That was Let's see. What else do we have? I'm trying to.
Can I
Go do yours.
give you something funny real quick?
I got something. Yeah, do yours.
So I was looking at the Jaguars roster, right? And I really like the linebacker Luakun that they have. Extremely fast guy, and if I'm not mistaken, Devin Lloyd is not a bad linebacker either, right? So I'm like, let me go in here and look these guys up real quick. And they got Trayvon Walker now, who's just a monster.
Yeah, he hasn't been as good as people would hope so far. He's been okay.
Okay, well, I was going by what he was in college, but
well, yeah, no, in college he was a beast, and that's why everybody is like, where's he at?
Right. It could be what he's being asked to do. Maybe he's got to settle in, but we got to look deeper into that. But so I looked at Devin Lloyd, and I went and looked at Luakun, and I'm like, oh, 6 feet 235. Okay. And that's Devin Lloyd, right? So then I went and looked at Luakun. Oh, 6 feet 230. Then I started thinking, well, dang, I mean, Bernard, Milano, like, is every linebacker in the league now 6 foot 230? Is that like?
Well, I mean, that's the way the world's going. That's the way it's going. So, yeah, I mean, the days of the thumper are pretty much over. It's almost like the way of the center in basketball. They've evolved and they. Like you always told me.
I don't want to get to that point.
Well, like you always told me, this is a passing league. This is an offensive league. This is that.
Yeah.
So how do you combat that? You're not going to combat that with, sorry, guys, Tremaine Edmonds and people like that. But, who was it that took Jack Campbell? I don't remember who it was. But
what would be nice?
What?
Is if some of these 6'3", 250-pound running backs would just go stand over behind the defensive line and play some linebacker because they actually got some speed and some physical ability, right? Maybe we might have some bigger, better, faster linebackers running around here, because we got Bijan Robinson, who's huge. We got Breece Hall, who's huge, and they both are, 4'4" guys and over 230 pounds, both of them, and over 6 feet. Like, just go play linebacker. Like, if you going into the NFL and you're a running back and you think you're gonna be a first round pick, go be a linebacker because you're probably going to last longer in the league and you're probably going to get paid a whole heck of a lot more too. Like, running backs, I'm sorry, as much as they try and fight and battle for this thing, I don't see it winning. Not no time soon.
No. I mean, like we said, like I just said, it's a passing league. It's just
right.
And that's why you're going to see guys like Christian McCaffrey and Kamara's and Etienne's are going to get paid. But the guys that Bill Cow backs, the ones that run up the middle hard, they're not going to get paid because look at the Bills. The Bills are definitely almost a blueprint to how to use a running back. You use it till you run them out and then you let them go and get another one.
Right.
do
they don't care about running. You're only what do we run Singletary? Singletary ran 11 times a game maybe, and that's on average. I mean, there was games when he ran 6 times a game. There was games when he ran 15 times. James Cook is blowing it out of the water right now because nobody expected it to happen.
Right.
So yeah, you're right. You're not going to see that $17 million running back anymore unless they're Saquon Barkley and you're trying to appease him. But once he goes to another team, I bet you he's not going to get that kind of money unless he has another dimension to his game.
Right. And that's the thing. Like, and that's, for fantasy purposes, that's frustrating as all get out because I got Jonathan Taylor on my team. He was one of the guys where I figured, okay, he's going to come back. He's going to be productive. I'll hold on to him, and it'll be fine. But in a dynasty league now, I'm really considering, like, man, do I need to try and trade him this year because for all intents and purposes, he ain't going to be a Colt next year. And if he's not going to be a Colt, what team is he going to?
And what are they going to ask him to do?
Exactly. And the history has shown 9 times out of 10, it very rarely works out where a star running back leaves the team that he was drafted on, that he became a star on, and goes to another team and is a star there. Not a lot of running backs are able to do that.
No.
Right? So, I mean, I feel terrible for these running backs in the league that came in and made their name, and all they're looking to do is capitalize in the same way that a lot of these other positions are able to capitalize, and it's just the nature of the position, man, is like you said, like the center position is just dying. It's just dying. I wonder if it might get to the point where guys like Tank Dell or guys like, like Hardy, like, because I mean, obviously the way the league is going, they're stopping a lot of the hits that cause major injuries. I'm wondering if we might start to see some of those kind of guys as your running backs in the future. Guys who really ain't got no business being running backs at all, but because they can catch and they're fast and they're shifty or whatever the case may be, like that may be the move, But I don't know.
Yeah,
I got all types of fantasy rants and stuff I can go into. But
I see.
Yeah,
I see, and that's okay. Yeah. We'll get to them all. Because you want to do a fantasy show and you're going to carry the heck out of that show because I got nothing.
There's one I want to get to before we go. It's just kind of like a personal rant, but we'll wait.
Hey, you want to rant? This is the forum to rant.
This is the forum?
Hey, I will sit back. You do your thing. Okay, what's on your brain?
Real quick.
I just want to know why you won't take Zach Wilson as a viable
I sent you a trade for him. I did.
Did you? I didn't even sit. I'm just so busy. I'm about to take a look at it. Unless it's already off the table.
No, Tutu
I don't care as a punter.
Tutu Atwell.
For Zach Wilson? And who else?
For Zach Wilson. That's it. Straight up.
Okay.
I mean, I was willing to give you a wooden shoe and a stick of gum. So
that's what you offer.
That's it. That is what I offer. but yeah, man. Like, okay. So I just want to say this, and this is not just in our league, but this is pretty much every league that I'm in right now. I'm in like 4 leagues.
Right.
For some reason, when people draft a player on their team, in their mind, that player holds double the value than a player normally should, right? Yeah. I've offered I offer one guy in our league. I offer one guy. What did I offer him? Najee Harris and Puka Nacua for CJ Stroud. Rejected.
Who was other quarterbacks?
Huh?
Who was other quarterbacks? Does he have any?
He had 2 good quarterbacks. He had 2 good quarterbacks, right? I think he had Matt Stafford. He had he had I can't.
Is it which league? Is it defensive league or the other league?
No, it's the Triple P league. The Triple P league. I'll tell you who he got right now.
We only played 2 quarterbacks.
Right, but he's got like 4. Like, there's like 3 teams in our league that have like 4 or 5 quarterbacks on their team.
One of these leagues I got more than I need, but I got Aaron Rodgers, I got Zach Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, I got Purdy and Russell Wilson, which you sent me.
Yeah.
And now, man, let me rant. I promise, guys.
Please do, because I got it. I got more.
How do you win? How do you win in a defensive league with a 30-point cornerback? I had a 99-1.
I found him. Wait, was his name?
I sent it to you. It was go ahead. Was it Witherspoon or whatever?
I found a different dude. This dude, Rogers something. Hold on,
this dude played. He played in the game on Monday night. I had a 99% chance to win that game. Before the Monday night game, I was up by like 15 points. He had a cornerback, and I had somebody. I don't remember. How does your cornerback get you 30 points?
Yo, this dude name is Jerry Jacobs.
Yeah, no, it wasn't him. I'm about to find him. I'm about to pick him up.
Jerry Jacobs is nice.
About to pick him up.
For some reason, he's scoring points he ain't got no business scoring right now.
And for you guys out there that don't understand, we actually are in a league that you can pick defensive players too. So we're not just like trying to surmise the best defense based on certain play. No, this is deeper.
Listen, this dude Jerry Jacobs, right? Detroit Lions corner. He's their nickel corner. Just so y'all know who he is. This man has 82 fantasy points already. Right, over 4 games, 15 the first game, 20 the second game, 21 the third game, and then 26.4 the fourth game. And he played against Green Bay, Atlanta, Seattle, and KC. He had 15 points against Kansas City. Now, this league, the defensive players score, the scoring is a little bit higher, but still,
I still got to figure this out.
And
it's a dynasty, so that means I can screw up this year and be good next year. So I got to figure this out.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, like my big rant is like people overvaluing players, man. Yeah. Like in all seriousness, like in any circumstance where I'm offering you 2 or 3 players for one player, like that should be enough. unless the players are like they have no points or something like that. But I'm offering this dude Puka Nacua, Najee Harris. I'm offering Tutu Atwell, and I think I even offered him who's the running back for the Chiefs? Pacheco. I even offered him Pacheco with Tutu Atwell or one. Like, yo, I'm trying to get a quarterback, and you just like you either trying to suffocate me.
You ain't getting a quarterback,
right? That's what I'm saying. Like, that's really what it boils down to.
Zach Wilson's who you got.
Exactly. So I gotta hope that either, Trevor Siemian comes and saves the day, or, if the Zach Wilson trade goes through, that works out in that league.
Don't worry. I just have a chance to push the button.
He said, I'll take Tutu with that too.
I don't even care what Tutu does. I just need something, because Zach Wilson's not going to see the light of day after a certain amount of time.
Yeah, I have no other quarterback on my team right now.
This is the first time in your life you're doing real life college scouting, isn't it?
Huh?
This is the first time in your life you're doing real life college scouting, isn't it? You like, let's see who's coming out next year. Caleb Wilson. Let's see. Caleb Williams, brother.
Exactly.
Who is this guy from North Carolina?
I need to be ready. I know who all the good quarterbacks are in college right now. I'm studying.
You're just waiting.
Yep.
Anyone get a good draft position too.
But man, if we can just stop the overvaluing the players, like and I get it. It's a competitive advantage if I'm hoarding a certain position or something like that, because it may get me, an opportunity to trade for better players in the future. But you talking about one of the players in our league trying to trade me. Who was the player? He was trying to trade me Matt Stafford for Tyreek Hill and Sam Laporta for the tight end from the Lions. Like,
yeah, okay.
Are you smoking right now?
Nah, he's like, how bad you want him?
I mean, that's really what he's saying.
How bad you want him?
That's what he's saying. Like, how bad you want to do? Like, I'm sorry. I'm not bending over for that one. I'm sorry, but it's up.
Yeah, I manipulated some things and got where we needed to get to. So this is gonna be uglier, but it's gonna work.
It's all good. It's all good.
So that's been our fantasy football minute.
Thank you for putting up with that.
Funny, they caught Josh McDaniels with a burner Twitter account.
Yes,
they caught Josh. I mean, it's nothing. It's not illegal, but how butthurt do you have to be to have a burner Twitter account so you can troll people and talk about how good he actually is and nobody knows it's you?
Yo, did you see what the I think it was DJ Williams that was talking about it. I'm not certain, but he had Brandon Marshall on the show and he had another player on the show. It was a podcast he was doing, and he was talking about when McDaniels first became their head coach in Denver, right? Mm-hmm. And they had, I think it was Kyle Orton, and they won the first six games and stuff like that. And the player was talking about how they as long as we did whatever McDaniel said, we won. Like that was just it. We won, right? And he was talking about, McDaniels would come up to you and say, when you see him in this formation, you sprint back to the hash mark and you turn around. As soon as you turn around, the ball should be right there, or it'll hit you in the back of the head, right? And then then he talks about when they were going up against the 49ers in the playoffs, and everybody picked them to win that game. He said they were supposed to win that game, and then come to find out, I guess they had to share a stadium or whatever that week, and one of the camera people for the Broncos got caught filming the practice of the 49ers.
Well, I mean, when your owner has a haircut like that, anything's possible. Your owner got a cut like that, anything. You're a billionaire. You got that cut, and you think you look good though.
This is when he was with the Broncos, not the Raiders, bro.
Well, yeah, no, I'm saying I'm talking about I'm thinking about now. I'm like, yo, you fast forward to the team he's on now. Nothing. I put nothing past him when you're talking about videotaping and recording. The dude has a cut like that.
Yeah.
You're destined to cheat. That's the only way I can put it in there.
He's still. I guess I still respect him a little bit from the standpoint of he's probably one of the only rebels left in that owner's room.
Only what?
Rebels. Yeah.
With that cut?
He gotta be. He gotta be.
No hat or nothing. No hat or nothing. He just let it hang out.
Well, it is his hat.
How do you even describe it?
The hair is his hat.
Let me get a mullet that comes out of a Trojan helmet that.
You ever seen those Lego hair pieces? Like you can just like they got ones with the little spike. You can just pull it off, and then you can put one on. They got like the smooth comb over.
It's almost like a Harley Davidson helmet.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, without the chin strap.
No, I mean
He might have a. He had a
just
beard.
take the long hairs and just tie
it
it right
around
up front,
so it don't fly away in the wind. That's
Right.
what's up. I like that.
You can do that.
That's what's up. And the last things we've heard comes from Von Miller on a podcast, actually the Vinecast, which is Von Miller's personal podcast, when talking about playing this week. Yes, of course, I'm getting worried about my wings because I want them badly. So I'm just going to play a small snippet of what Von Miller thinks about what they do this week. I don't know where we at. If this
We good,
we good? Okay.
It's going to come over.
So, Von, take it away.
To come back because it's still not promised that I play in this game. I want to play in this game. I got to practice tomorrow, and I only get one padded practice. So obviously, I go out there and I look amazing with this padded practice because the difference is like in training camp, you get multiple padded practices to kind of like figure your game out. I just get one padded practice tomorrow, and then we have a shells practice on Thursday, and then we fly to London on Thursday night. So I really don't have all the time in the world to like figure it out. I get one padded practice, so hopefully I look amazing tomorrow. I feel really strongly that I will. That's just how I think. I feel like I will be amazing tomorrow, and everybody will give me the green light to go play in the game. And I feel like the fans. I don't know if the fans can expect to see me yet, but if I was a betting man, I would say, yeah, you can expect to see Von Miller in London. This is my first time playing in London, and who knows how many chances I get to play in London. So I want this to happen. I'm pushing for it to happen. I think you can go ahead and really check that box, and you guys will see me playing in London.
Okay, so a lot to unpack there. Really, actually, not a lot to unpack. But if you look at what he said there and then contrast that to what he said in his presser today, bear with me just a moment where I find him because I don't have the handy-dandy search feature I always use so well. Where are you, Von?
It's coming.
Von.
It's coming.
Yeah, it is at some point. Let's see. So somebody asked him, could you put your finger on the scale and say, I'm ready to go? He said, I probably could, but I'm 34 in my 13th season. Would it be smart? Probably not, but I probably could. I'm just trying to be where my feet are. So he said that, obviously. Then he also said, what was his quote? He said, going back to practice today was like riding a bike, an old rusty bike, but a bike. So, okay, so are you feeling out of shape? Are you feeling like you're a little too slow for the play right now? What are you saying? He said, physically, do you feel any limitations? He said, oh, no, I ain't feel limitations. I'm trying to think about it. He said, they want me to play, I'll play. The head honchos had to make the call. I'm happy to play but if they want me to play next week against the Giants, I'll play next week. It's up to them. So he kept saying, I want to play, but it's up to them. That's all he kept saying in his press conference. And I mean, like I said, I'm getting wings regardless. So,
well, I mean, let's look at it this way. Let's pull up the Bills schedule.
The Bills?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we got Jaguars this week, Giants next week, Patriots after that, Bucks. I got to be honest. I'm starting to lose confidence that he will play in this game because two things. Mm-hmm. First thing is, it's probably a little bit more beneficial to save him for either the Patriots game or the Bucks game, right? Yeah. You don't really need the Bucks game as much, but the Bucks are probably the best team out of all these teams right now. The Jaguars, in my mind, are they're still figuring themselves out. You can probably still get them, before they fully blossom this season, right? But the Bucks are they're performing, they're winning games. Now, granted, Mike Evans is hurt, but he might be back by that game. I don't think we have a times table on when he's coming back yet. But if I'm a betting man, mm-hmm. I think what Oh, this is the other thing too. As far as Von Miller is concerned, anytime this dude starts talking about what he's going to do or what's going to happen,
Yeah, I know.
the opposite.
That's
kind
of what I was going. I'm like, that's why I said this is beyond wings. I'm not even gloating about this at all. But like when you start to listen to Von Miller versus what he said in the past,
Yep.
it kind of lends a hand to it not going to happen.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
But
all right.
he also said in that same press conference today, which was actually it was yesterday. Wait, when they practiced today or they practice today, didn't they?
Wednesday.
Was it yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wednesday they practiced.
So after the practice yesterday, he said, what did he say? He said, I don't want to come in and mess anything up. Those guys they already have are rolling. So he's talking about who? Greg Rousseau, Leonard Floyd, and
AJ Epinesa.
Epinesa, yes, Epinesa, and also Kingsley Jonathan. Without saying Chukwuemeka, I honestly almost forgot his name. That's how bad it's gotten. But I'm so used to making that joke that I was like, what is the guy's name?
Just keep saying Chukwuemeka. Listen. If people can't figure out the dude's real name, if they ain't with it when they hear it,
right?
That's
Just say the last name.
That's his name.
Last name. You're rolling. No, and you know what? This is a sidebar conversation that I thought about when I was getting ready to come to the show. This goes back to the money that we spend. Do you really understand the gravity that paying non-essential players is? And the reason why I thought about this today was it came off with this quote. See, when you're paying $20 million to a defensive end, that means you don't have anybody that can compare to him. Nobody that you have to pray he plays.
Mm-hmm.
Like Stephon Diggs, you got to pray because behind him, who's the number one? He says Gabe, I don't. But we've had Leonard Floyd playing out of his mind. Leonard Floyd's been playing out of his mind on that right side. I mean, maybe it's a slight drop off, but it's not. You're not giving up anything. When you have Tre'Davious White making elite money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as you can see in the defense that we've run with Frazier and with McDermott,
right?
You can mask that with a good safety. Because McKelvin wasn't that great last year. He's been better this year at times.
Did you say McKelvin?
McKelvin. I'm sorry. White.
Trey White.
I'm going back to what is that? 2011.
Man, I'm feeling that fumble in that Patriots game all over again.
Man, that was my guy. But anyway, yeah. I mean, my thing is like you pay a Josh Allen.
My name Leote.
There's nobody behind him. What'd you say?
So my name Leote.
Lil McKimmon. That's how you said. Hey, that's it. But you pay a Josh. You pay a Steph. You pay. If you had, I don't know. Whoever. We don't really, outside of those two guys, I can't think of anybody that really is irreplaceable. And that's not saying that they're not good. That's not a slight on anybody that we have. But in a salary cap year, when you're looking at all the money we got to spend and the money we don't have next year, you got to look at where you spent your money. And, yeah, having a Von Miller is going to be nice when he comes back. But for half that price, you could have gave Leonard Floyd $50 million over the same 5 years, $10 million a season, and look what you got. I mean, and that's just how my mind worked when I thought about this. So
the way they structured the contract, they have an out after, I think in 2025, right?
Talking about Von?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had 4 years. He had a 4-year deal. It was a 6-year with the last two being void years. So what does that make it? He was signed. Was last year his first year? This year, next year, 25 is the last one. He's on the hook for him.
Okay. So here's what I think. I understand what you're saying. However, I also think there's a big drop off between Leonard Floyd and Greg Rousseau and AJ Epinesa and those guys in terms of pass rushing ability.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
I agree.
So when we're talking about strictly are you mocking me over there?
I think he did.
Mocked my throat clearing.
I think he did.
I'm gonna keep a cup of stuff to random stuff I could just throw over.
No, that was excellent.
Start acting up.
Y'all took all my toys away.
Well, yeah, it was a whole different reason we had to take your toys away. A whole different reason.
That was a great show, bro. Yeah. Producer, good job on that one. You caught me good. I was playing with that little thing and answering questions without even knowing I was on camera. I was in a different world.
Right.
Different dimension.
Oh my God. We might have to set you up going forward.
I need what do you call it? Tactile items over here just to
tactile items. Yeah. Yep. Like a what do they call a fidget spinner?
Give me one. Yeah.
You need a fidget spinner?
No, you don't want that.
Keyshawn. Keyshawn.
What?
Keyshawn. We've been on air for 50 minutes and you've been playing with the damn fisherman.
My bad. It's been that long.
I can't help it. Look at this.
I can go this way and that way and every way.
And when you do it like this, it looks like rubber.
Woo.
Oh my gosh. All right. So when we're talking about when we're talking about pass rushing, I think Von's ability and Floyd's ability are close, or I would say closer in terms of the gap between those two than the gap between those two and the other guys on the team, right? So when you're talking about you paying Leonard Floyd the $9 million, you're paying Von Miller the 20, and I'm sorry. I'm actually defending the signing. I'm only defending the signing.
Defend away
in order to make this point.
Make the point. No, you're defending it because you're defending it. Defend away. It's all good.
I hated the signing. On the record, I hated the signing. I did not think they needed to spend that much money on a guy that old when there were plenty of other options. Listen,
As we're sitting here 39 years old, a guy that old.
A guy, well, yeah, the guy that old.
Relative.
When Danielle Hunter was available for trade. Danielle Hunter at the time, I think, was 27, 28 years old. You could have had him and paid him the same amount of money, and he would have been happy to come here, right? And I think pass rusher for pass rusher, first of all, Danielle Hunter's a bigger guy. He's a faster guy, and he's just as good of a pass rusher. If you go back and look at his name, he's just as good of a pass rusher as Von Miller, right? Yeah. So that's why I hated that move. But when you're talking about the reason they signed him, they wanted a guy that was more of a specialist as a pass rusher, but also a guy who was willing to come in and teach the young guys.
This is Floyd or Von you're talking about?
I'm talking about Von.
Okay.
And so I think at that point in their minds, okay, we bring Von in. He gives us a solid 2, maybe 3 years as our best pass rusher, right? He helps to teach Rousseau, who I have to say between this year and last year has gotten significantly better, right? And then by the time it's time for Von to go, we got Rousseau ready for his second contract, and whatever other defensive end they decide to get between now and then.
It better be a draft pick.
It has to be.
It better not be another
They
Rousseau.
don't have the money for anything else.
It better not be another Rousseau. That's my concern. That's really my concern.
Yeah, but I think just from a pass rushing standpoint, I think you still want Miller on this team right now for the elite moments, right? For the Chiefs game at the very end where he rushes Mahomes and causes Mahomes to throw that interception to Taron Johnson, right? You want Miller here for those elite moments. And think about this too. There's a big difference between Miller and Floyd on the field and Rousseau and Floyd on the field.
I don't think that's the thing. I don't think you're going to see Miller and Floyd that often. I don't think so.
Really?
I really don't think so. I really don't think so.
Pure pass rushing situation.
I really don't think so. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's the thing.
You put some wings on that?
Nah, but I mean, do I really want more wings?
You
Not
want
because
more?
you're going to lose, but because do I want to lose and buy myself another set of wings? That's a lot of wings.
Listen, it's never a bad time for wings.
Man,
and it's
wings
never a bad time to bet wings.
Man, okay.
Just do it. Just follow your gut, bro.
Okay, so we have to go to stipulation here. What is the percentage? Are we saying like never, or are we saying like often? So in true passing situations, often, because I'm saying,
well, that's tough because they rotate a lot.
That's what I'm saying. It's gonna happen, but I don't think they're gonna. I don't think that's their.
I'm gonna let's do over under.
Okay,
let's do over under, and we're gonna say the over under is long down and distance on third downs.
Long, okay,
right? So we'll say I'm gonna say more than. I think 8's a good number. Between now and Super Bowl.
8 what? 8%?
No, 8 times.
8 times?
8 times that we're gonna see. What is?
Nah, that's like 5 wings worth right there, though. That's not a full 10 stat.
Okay, all right.
We're gonna work on it. We'll come to y'all. We'll let y'all know because
no. I'm gonna give it to you right now.
See, I gotta figure out how to quantify it too, because I gotta find a way to get the stat. It says they're on the field at the same time for this down because there's a way to do it.
Yeah.
But I got to make sure I can do it before, because I don't want anybody to say, "Oh, well, this." And we gonna not you, but people watching at home and want to.
I mean, if you're gonna get wings regardless, but
it's how many am I gonna get there? It's true. Let's just say we're having wings.
Look at your stat. We'll come back to this.
Yeah, let's just say we're having wings.
Yeah. We're having wings.
Let's just say we're gonna have wings.
Okay.
So going on to obviously Sean McDermott's presser before coming over yesterday, what did he have to talk about? Von Miller, of course. So obviously he starts off by saying Von is coming back to practice. 21-day window has started. We're gonna see. He said Jordan's getting better. If he had to quantify it, Jordan's better than he was last week. So that means he may or may not. He did practice limited today, yesterday, I believe. Let's see. He was talking about Dane Jackson and losing the starting role to Christian Benford. He said you could tell that he was disappointed, but he kept working. He didn't let it get to him. He kept his craft up. He didn't just pack his bags and go home. So now he has a chance again to start. So we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Moving on to Josh Allen. Josh Allen said Josh Allen scares me.
Obviously, you should.
I mean, okay. This is kind of where I wanted to go with this. Josh Allen, other Josh Allen, because we got our Josh Allen. He's the other guy.
Let's just call him Jay Allen.
Okay, Jay Allen. So he has 6 sacks on the season.
Okay.
He has 3 against your boy, Anthony Richardson.
Okay.
Which he never tackled him. He ran him out of bounds 3 times. He had 3 sacks minus 3 yards. So whatever. And then Desmond Ridder, did you see the Atlanta game?
No.
You didn't need to. Desmond Ridder is terrible. He's terrible.
Yeah, he's bad.
Their offensive line was terrible.
They're going to get a great quarterback next year.
They're going to get Caleb Williams probably.
Oh.
But the thing is,
with those weapons too, man, that's going to be nice.
They're terrible. So, I mean, I'm not saying he didn't do anything, but when you're talking about when they played against when they played against the Texans, nothing. And when they played against whoever else they played, nothing. So, our offensive line is probably going to be, if not the best offensive line they face, the second best for sure. And I'm sure our Josh Allen is mobile enough to get away from the pressure, and they know that Josh Allen's out there. Come on now. Outside of him, really, there's nowhere else to go. There's nothing else that they're really worried about.
Right.
So I don't think Josh Allen's going to terrorize us as much as they say he is, as they think.
No, because they I mean – you pointed this out. Trayvon Walker is not playing in the pros like he played in college, right? So what that means is you can easily chip Jay Allen. You can easily keep a tight end on that side and basically knock him off of his pivot the whole game, right? Mm-hmm. But the other thing too is when you're a team with really only one good pass rusher. And the Bills have shown they can handle that with Max Crosby. Yeah. The one thing they can't do is they can't squeeze the pocket.
Right.
Right. The Jets were able to squeeze the pocket. The Commanders at points were able to squeeze the pocket.
And you're mentioning 2 elite defensive lines too.
Correct.
So that's another factor in it.
Right. But I mean against Josh Allen, that's what it takes.
Yeah.
It takes an elite defensive line being able to squeeze the pocket so that A, he can't escape, and B, he's stuck under pressure, right? And that's
your
how
point is taken. Trust me, I'm not diminishing that at all. But
yeah. But I mean, if they can't do that, and Josh Allen is really the only guy. I think Ken Dorsey is starting to show that he can handle the position this year. He's starting to show that. There's still some things that he needs to clean up in terms of his second down runs and first down runs and the types of plays that he calls in those situations.
Go ahead and say it. You hate that shotgun run.
I can't stand the shotgun run, bro.
Shotgun trap.
I can't stand it. Like you lose so much momentum from the snap to the handoff.
It's so slow.
It's so slow. It takes so long to open up. Like it just stop. Just stop with that.
It's super slow. And it, like you said, when you got a guy as fast as James Cook, come on now, you got to do better.
Right. I mean, you're already starting to. Well, not starting. You've already put it into the offense. You put in play action where Josh is turning his back to the defense. So what is the problem with him going up under center? Like, just do your first down plays under center. Mm-hmm. Right? Put in some pass plays, mix it up here and there where Josh is under center and he does some, does a few pass plays. Those are the best opportunities to kind of set up two things. You set up the run on those under center on plays under center, and you set up the plays to the flat under center. Right now, you got the defense thinking, okay, it's not just play action, it's not just the run, but he can get the ball out to the flats. He can get the ball out quickly. So even if he is under center, he does a 7-step drop, right? Which is typically the longest drop that you have, and that drop is in unison with typically longer routes, right? Even with that, you're still forcing the defense to play honest. So it's not like you can say, well, I want Josh to play under center, and all of his normal options are shot. There's still a lot of stuff you can do with him being under center, but I think when a running back can sit back there in an I formation or an offset formation, there's a lot more momentum that he can gain and more speed that he can gain getting to the hole or being able to see how things open up when he's lined up 5 to 7 yards back, as opposed to being lined up to the side of the running back and taking a handoff from there. Like, I'm sorry, and granted, there might be running backs that might tell you, I like that better because I can see a lot more from back there, or I like that better because with the type of run scheme that we have, it gives me the ability to see things open up faster. But with our offensive line, they aren't opening up the holes big enough, or if they do, they're not keeping them open long enough for the running backs.
They got the holes, but they're not open long enough. So I think that in itself is where we're lacking on that play. You definitely need, as you said before, somebody that can see. Yeah. So that gives you a taller running back, usually Latavius Murray. James Cook, for everything he is not that tall. He's 5'9", they say 5'10" or 5'11", whatever. But I give him maybe 5'9.5", 5'10". Which is obviously for him, we're compared to what we came from when it comes to Devin Singletary, a shorter running back with speed, is just the same. It's not a detriment to what you have. But yeah, so I think, like you said, we definitely need to clean some things up for Dorsey. But by and large, I think that their offense is actually going to only get better. Going to get better. They're looking good out there right now.
Yeah, they are.
They're looking great. And I mean, you're thinking about Kincaid hasn't even gotten going yet. Gabe Davis hasn't. Well, I don't know what Gabe Davis his ceiling is in this offense, but he hasn't gotten going yet. So sky's the limit right now. You just gotta kind of scheme guys open. And this week is going to be the week because they have a slot guy that by a Pro Football Focus standards is going to get torn apart by anybody he sees because he's not fast enough or skilled enough to defend Stephon Diggs. He's not physical enough to defend Gabe Davis. And, so if you're looking at Trent Sherfield, I think they're thinking about the physicality as well because he's a big guy and he might actually start getting going soon. I hope.
Yes.
That's not on him, though. He's a good blocker and he's there when you need him. But, yeah, getting into the game real quick, you're going to be playing at the Northumberland Development Project. Now, guys that are going to the game, the guys that have been, obviously, you're probably not even going to watch it till you come home. But you should get used to the layout of that stadium because that's the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. That's the stadium that they're building, and they're kind of modeling the Bills' new stadium off of.
Yep.
62,303 seat occupancy. So you're right in the heart of London, and a smaller stadium, but it's nice. They actually have, I think, 109 hotel rooms in that stadium. Yeah.
Hotel rooms in the stadium?
Yeah.
That's dope.
That's crazy.
That's dope.
Right.
Wow.
That actually is dope.
I actually hope they do something like that here.
I wish they would. They need to put hotels by the stadium somewhere.
Yeah.
There's nothing down there to put.
Nothing at all. It sucks, man. It is
you sound downtrodden.
No, it does. Like, listen. I I drive Uber from time to time, right? So, like, everything out in Orchard Park is all people who own homes selling their yard space for cash.
Yep.
Like, there was one dude I gave a ride to. He literally bought an old warehouse building on, I think it was Southwestern Boulevard. And the dude he's only owned the building for like 4 years. He said he's already made $1 million off of that.
I believe it.
Like, not even a perfectly paved lot. It's just rocks.
Just rocks and grass.
Like, people
and
just
dirt
pull
and
right
mud.
onto these rocks and they pay them a little bit of money. They walk down the street and they good. Mm-hmm. Like, I need a little bit more than that.
I'm a victim.
I need a little bit more than Hicktown, USA, where the biggest store out there is what, a Burger King, a Subway. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the biggest shopping area is the McKinley Mall that's around the way there, and there's not a lot of stores in that thing. The thing is, almost dead.
It is.
So
and, yeah, you're right. I mean, it would be nice to just, and the thing is, I'm so tired of seeing Niagara Falls. The Niagara Falls. I'm tired of seeing the wings. I'm tired of seeing the Metro Rail.
What are they gonna show?
I mean, they got better.
Outside,
no, they got
maybe.
better. They did get better. I think they showed Riverworks.
Yeah, they showed the naval park.
They showed the naval park.
With our
but
one,
like
our one naval boat.
There's things in Buffalo. There's still two. It didn't sink.
It didn't sink. It used to be two.
They didn't sink.
Huh?
That one didn't sink.
It didn't sink.
No.
What,
the Sullivan?
Didn't they take it for repairs or something like that? I don't think it's back there. I only saw the one. I was just over there.
Repair. Okay, that might be it. I'm about to say, because I haven't been on there in a little bit, but I know it didn't sink. It was actually, last I saw, it was upright. But anyway, so.
Show that on game day.
I know.
He got one boat just chilling, the other one just sticking
it's cocked to the side, and the subway, the submarine is holding it up.
Oh my gosh!
Obviously, we're going to play at 9:30 on Sunday, Eastern Standard Time. I don't even know what that equates to in London. What is that, about 1 o'clock, 1:30 in London, somewhere 2 o'clock?
I don't know. Are they ahead of us?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, Josh Allen alluded to in his press conference, he said this is the first time where you're ever going to get on a plane and not travel backwards in time, but you're going forward. So, yeah, they're actually going to be before our time. This will be in the future.
Nice.
So the Jaguars average points for it ranks 10th in the league, and the points against ranks 12th in the league. 404, which is a 23.8 per game scoring average, and points against 20.6 per game. So obviously the Bills.
This is the Jaguars?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I had to janky it up, but we're here. We're in there. Let's see. Head coach Doug Peterson. You guys know Doug Peterson as a Super Bowl champion, winning with the Philadelphia Eagles. His mantra is throw to score, run to win. So hopefully they won't be running a lot because they should be behind. And from what I saw, they drop a lot of passes. They have a lot of off-key moments. So if we force them to throw, we're definitely going to win this game.
Yeah, it's crazy. The Bills, their opponents rush touchdowns per game. They're 7th in the league, but it's 0.5.
Yeah.
Like, they don't give up rushing touchdowns. And furthermore, there's let me see here. There's rush yards per game. No. Opponent rushes per game. This is what I wanted to point out too. The Bills are second in the league in opponent rushes per game at 18.8. Like, they don't give teams an opportunity to really establish a run game. If you're gonna run the ball, it's gonna be 18 rushes and like 40 pass attempts because you're stuck trying to catch up.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And even with that 18, I think majority of that is from the Jets game.
Yeah. Yep.
So they get ahead of you. They stay ahead of you. I mean, that's it's funny. That has been the recipe that you and I have talked about for this team for years, like since Josh has been here. We're like, okay, if you built the defense to stop the pass, then you need to score enough points to force teams to pass only.
Exactly.
Right? You can't. You got to stop letting teams be too dimensional against your defense if your defense is so heavily past
let's rely on the defense.
oriented.
You don't want to rely on the defense, and that's not even a shade on Frazier. That's years before. We've always been talking about how you gotta score points.
Right.
And when McDermott came, what do you always say? I mean, he might not have said it, but I think he did. They like to limit the other teams, scoring. They wanted he was a defensive coach. He had coach speak. Yeah. He talked about low scoring games and dragging it out and grinding. That was his thing.
Yeah.
So when you got Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs and you got guys that wanted to score, Dable, he had to tidy that up a little bit. And plus, I think the fans would have ran him out of town if he would have had too many 96 games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That'd been boring.
Yeah. But I mean, and again, like, I think one of the things that I got caught up with was I didn't think that Frazier was going to have to mesh his personnel requirements for his defense with Sean's personnel requirements for his like their
Right.
defense ended up being kind of like a meshing of two schemes, so to speak, right?
It's almost like Sean drafted guys, signed free agents to give him a tryout for his scheme. I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
You know, because Tremaine Edmonds wouldn't have fit his scheme.
Right.
But Tremaine Edmonds' contract runs out when the year McDermott takes over. This wasn't Frazier's first contract. They let him go, but you know, I mean, it all worked out perfectly. The syncing of all these contracts and defensive players worked out so well. So now you get the team that you got while they're still kind of learning your system, spoon feeding it. Now you take over and it's your show. So you know, we'll see. But yeah, let's move on to the offense just a tad. Let's see, Press Taylor, 35-year-old, who's coached under Doug Peterson since Philadelphia. He was the quarterback's coach, offensive assistant, and he was offensive coordinator last year in Jacksonville. However, he was not calling plays. So
they got two offensive.
No, that's their Jim Bob Cooter.
I'm about to say that.
I keep forgetting he's our age.
Jim
Bob Cooter, 39 years old. He's a passing game coordinator now under Press Taylor. So I guess so whatever the case may be, he was a quarterback in college, I believe, so he has a lot of expertise when it comes to passing. Mike McCoy is their quarterback's coach, and Mike McCoy came from Arizona, offensive coordinator, and he's been their quarterback's coach in Jacksonville for 2 seasons. But you look at Jacksonville when it comes to Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence, he's not going to throw for 300 yards. I mean, that's just not what he's going to do. If he throws for 300 yards, something's extremely wrong. He's gonna dissect you with short passes. He's gonna overuse Etienne. He's gonna really zero in on on Ridley, unless Zay Jones is back, because Zay Jones was his favorite target.
Yeah.
Christian Kirk seems to be an afterthought. He's out there for the splash plays, but
it's weird. Like all of the dependency on Christian Kirk kind of fell to Evan Ingram this year. Evan Ingram has kind of become that dependable guy that I can go to when nobody else is open. Yep. You know what I mean? It's weird, but I don't know. I'm just glad I didn't draft him on my team.
Yeah, I saw him. I was like, nah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
That was a strong no.
He was definitely out there though. You go from being the team's number one receiver to not even being a factor this year. That's gotta hurt, especially with that contract. I would be pissed if I was the owner.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Behind Etienne, they have Tank Bigsby, which is their undersized third down back. You know, and the
undersized. There, how big is he?
Tank Bigsby?
Yeah,
I don't have it up right now, but let me find it real fast for you.
He looks bigger, but maybe that's because Etienne is as small as he is.
Tank Bigsby.
He is
6 feet 213. So
okay.
I mean, it's okay, but what I'm saying when you say undersized, you're thinking about Latavius Murray when you're relegated to a third down back.
He's Damian Harris, basically.
Basically, Damian Harris.
Yeah, I was kind of upset about that because they called him a bigger back.
I mean, I'm not saying he's not, but it's not.
It's not a bigger back.
It's not.
It's not a bigger back.
You know, he's averaging 2.8 yards a carry on 33 yards on 12 carries, 2 touchdowns. So when you're playing in a system where you're the big bruising back, you would think you would have, low yards per carry, but more touchdowns than that.
Yeah, but they like ETN though.
That's what I'm saying. It's just call him a spellback. Just call him a spellback. He's not because the bruiser comes in when you got the goal line. He comes in. Right. That's not what he is. So let's shake that.
Latavius Murray is the
he's
bruiser,
that.
the bruiser
he's
back.
that.
Yeah, that dude comes in for all the short yardage and all that kind of stuff.
He cleans you up just like Jamal Williams last year. He had 28 touchdowns, but he wasn't averaging any yardage.
Yeah,
and that's why. But you look at their wide receiver room, and you're thinking about undersized guys because Zay Jones is 5'11", 6 feet maybe. You got Christian Kirk, who was 5'9", I believe, 5'10". Calvin Ridley, who's 6 feet. So they really don't have anybody in that room that's gonna kill you with height and physicality. They're speedier guys, which is funny to me because you got to look at Miami last week. Miami went to kill you with speed. It's the same concept because they like rat guarders. Like I said before, Trevor Lawrence is not throwing a deep ball. He's not. And if you listen to any Jacksonville guys, they're expecting 218 yards. That's his expectation. 218 to 240 yards. That's their top out for him.
Yeah.
And so what that tells you is they're well-rounded. And what that tells you is Trevor Lawrence, especially being his height and size, people think that he's not a runner. He's deceptively quick, and he will take off. Even though he doesn't like to, he will take off. And he has like a sixth sense about him. I saw a couple plays in the Houston game where he took off, but he was looking to throw the ball, and the guy was closing in behind him, and he like dips out of it. And he doesn't even look over there. Like, I don't know if they yelled at him, but even still, how do you know which way to go and get upfield? And that's what he did.
Wow.
It was ridiculous. A 6'6", 200, and I don't know if he's 220 yet or what, but because he was wiry when he first came in.
Yeah. Well, I want to caution people too, because one of the things that has ailed the team is their offensive line play.
Mm-hmm.
But like we talked about before the show, Cam Robinson's coming back this week. You said he was on suspension or something like that?
He was suspended for the first 4 games, yeah.
Right. So you got Cam Robinson coming back, and what that does is that kind of puts players back into the places where they were originally intended to be, which if you're the Jaguars, you welcome that, because now the offensive line that we intended to have is in place. Okay. But even with that, it's kind of a double-edged sword, because you got Cam Robinson coming back, and the offensive line should play a little bit better, but they haven't had a chance to gel because Cam Robinson's been gone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, there's. I'm saying all this to say there is potential for the offensive line to play better and kind of play above the expectations of Bills fans, and even the Bills defensive line themselves. Maybe they might go against this line and figure out really quickly this isn't what we saw on tape. You know what I'm saying? So ideally, hopefully they watch tape from last year, because a lot of these guys on this line, if I'm not mistaken, are the same from last year, right? But I'm confident either way, that a big part of the reason why the Jaguars don't throw for much yardage, or they don't throw deep, is because their offensive line can't sustain that. They can't give the pass rushing avoiding savant enough time to sit back there and wait for Ridley to get open deep, or Christian Kirk to get open deep. That is something that I would fear if they did have that time.
Like I said, like you're talking about, he's not Tua, so I'm not worried about it in the same vein that I was Tua tearing us up with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle.
He's got a bigger arm than Tua, though.
He's got a bigger arm, but he's not going to use it. That's the thing. He's not throwing it deep. All the routes are short, and everything is built for yak yardage. So, with the offensive line, for Cam, like you said, Cam Robinson coming back, that means Walker Little is actually going to be slided inside. Their starting left tackle for the first 4 games is actually moving over. They don't want to bench him completely. But he's small for a guard. He's 6'7", 309. So there's a lot of opportunity for Ed Oliver at 6 feet.
Yeah, he can get inside.
He's going to go through him.
Yeah,
he's going to go right through him. Yeah, I would expect him to go right through him. Maybe get double teamed, which means Daquan Jones is going to be. So that's a good problem to have.
Yeah,
like I said last week, nice. I misspoke. Ed Oliver actually is still getting double teamed, but his technique or whatever it is has gotten so much better to the point where he actually has the technique to beat and gets little and get small and get between the guard and the center. So this week I expect Ed Oliver to actually have a big game, which I digress for a second. I did just pick up on my fantasy team.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got Ed Oliver. So
okay, nice.
He's been playing out of his mind. So it was a no-brainer when I had nothing else going down there.
You'll be happy to know that I picked up Terrell Bernard on one of my fantasy teams.
Did you really?
I did.
Oh, that's a beautiful thing.
He's eating, man. He's eating. I can't deny him. I can't deny him.
Defensively, we talked about the defensive line going through some kind of changes, but they have Dwayne Smoot coming back this week, who is kind of he's a bigger power guy. He's averaging probably about I'd say 5 or 6 sacks a season, but If he plays on Spencer Brown, he gets little. I don't know. If he wants to go through him or what's he going to do. But like I said, I'm still not as worried about our offensive line as I was in weeks past.
That takes me back to their Mark Brunell days when they had they had a corner named Fred Smoot.
Yeah, and that's when I was listening. He said Smoot, and I'm like, he's still playing?
Yeah, right.
I said, wow.
After 20 years in the league, what the hell?
I'm like, that guy like 43 years old. How old is this guy?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I thought didn't he have like a son or something that played in the league? Maybe this guy's I don't know.
I don't know.
Somebody, I thought
this might be his son.
It might be. I don't even know. Freddie Smoot. I liked Freddie Smoot. Let's see. Linebacker wise, as you said, Josh Allen. That's the one you worry about. That's the one that's gonna, kind of. He's going to give you some fits. Otherwise, their other linebacker that they use, because they do run a 3-4 actually. I think a 40 front is more appropriate. But when you talk about their,
that was shocking. They went 3-4 on that, right? Like
yeah.
Oluokun and Lloyd. I mean, they're not 3-4 inside linebackers,
right?
They're not.
I think Lloyd actually was a 3-4 in college. I think he played 3-4 in college.
Yeah, but 6 foot 230 for a 3-4 linebacker.
I don't know. Hey, if you would have watched our show earlier, we would have said Terrell Bernard is kind of small for the middle, and he's wrecking shops. So I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, it's different in a 4-3. And Oluokun, when he was in Atlanta, he was a beast. He played in a 4-3.
Let me ask you this though: how would you feel if he was the middle backer in a 4-3?
Oluokun?
No, Devin Lloyd. Would you feel better? Because even though they run a 3-4,
I think Oluokun would be your middle, and I would have Lloyd as your strong side.
Which is even better. That proves my point. Because I was going to tell you that they play mostly a 40 front, so that kind of slides them over to the outside anyway.
Yeah.
So I mean, why they play a 3-4, it's really not. It's really a 4-3. Okay. Lloyd just stands up. Not Lloyd. Allen just stands up, and that's where he rushes from. He rushed on 88% of his.
So it just gives him a reason to have a 2-point stand.
Pretty much.
That's stupid.
Which is it's neither here nor there. He's an edge. But yeah, outside of let's see, I like Chad Muma, which is a backup. Oluokun, which is their primary inside guy, with Devin Lloyd. I'm not too worried about that. But you know what really makes me feel good about their team?
What?
Their secondary.
It's terrible.
It's terrible.
It is bad.
It's terrible. And that plays right into our strength.
Darius Williams, that's your best corner. That's your best shot.
And they play right into our strength.
Diggs is going to eat that man for breakfast.
Diggs is going to eat him. Yeah, I mean, it's bad. There's
Tyson Campbell.
Yeah,
I mean,
Tyson Campbell.
Average. It looks like he's average, right, in coverage?
They're giving him a good mark, but, I mean, even still, he's only been targeted 12 times. He gave up 6 receptions. Darius Williams 18 times, gave up 11 receptions for 61%. Tyson Campbell, 20 targets, 13 receptions, 65%. There's game to be had. And you can put Stephon Diggs on any of these dudes, and he's going to do what he wants.
Right.
He's going to do what he wants. And their safeties are no better. I mean, when I watched the Houston Texans game, they were so confused. They were so befuddled by what was going on that they just crossed. I don't know if you saw the Tank Dell had a huge.
Yeah, he had like 140-something yards in that game.
Well, he had a huge catch between his safety and cornerback. They were right on him, and it just went right over there. He just right over him. Caught it, down to the 1 yard line. There was no reason he should have caught the ball.
Wow. There
was no reason that any of that should have happened. Robert Woods got off. There was no reason.
I mean,
except for their secondary is terrible. Now they do have
C.J. Stroud getting the Tom Brady treatment.
Yeah,
we can't intercept that ball.
You got to let that have it. I think Jamal Agnew is might be coming back. Antonio Johnson, don't even know who that is, but he practiced. He was limited. So, I mean, if these guys do the same thing, I expect them to have a short leash before it gets out of hand on Sunday.
No doubt. No doubt. It should get ugly pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And that's if, jet lag and all the other stuff don't
I was going to say that's if they don't leave their hearts in Buffalo. If they don't leave their heart in Buffalo, if they don't eat too many fish and chips, if they don't down too many pints.
It seems as though this team this year has done a much better job of finding whatever edge they need to find for whoever they're going against. Yeah. And I think in this particular game, you show them the 6-9 game. Mm-hmm. You show them that game and you say, this is the same team that did this to you last year.
Right.
You got a chance to go on an international stage and smear them across the floor.
Yep.
Jet lag or no jet lag, I'm sorry. If I'm a player, I'm getting up for that. You did what to me last year? Oh, no, it's going down.
That was a game we played them. Was that the year EJ Manuel had a horrible first half and ended up almost winning a game? It was like a tremendous second half.
In London?
Yeah, in London.
Ooh, that's 2015. So who was their quarterback in 2015?
Was it 2015?
Yeah.
That was EJ Manuel. Hold on a second. Yeah. But anyway, like you were saying, you're smearing this team, which is right. You're looking it up?
2015 was Tyrod Taylor, EJ Manuel, and Matt Castle.
I think Taylor was hurt that game. Because I think EJ Manuel had to – because that was the game, I believe, where he got left in it. I mean, he had like 2 interceptions in the first half. And then he came back in the second and almost won the game. Whatever. But, yeah, I mean, my keys to victory this week are going to be definitely –
that October 25th, 2015, we lost 31-34. Who was the quarterback in that game? What? Who was the quarterback in it? They don't want to tell me. They don't want to tell me who the quarterback was.
I can look it up.
I'm going on ESPN right now. Look it up. See, it was EJ Manuel. Yep. EJ Manuel, 24 of 42 for 298.
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Yep,
he threw 2 interceptions and he ended up willing them back. So anybody that wants to watch that game.
Is that Mario Williams right there?
My man Mario.
Mario Williams was on the team. LaShawn McCoy was on that team.
It was a good squad. It was a good squad. It was a good time.
Against Blake Bortles. The man threw for 182 yards.
And the same Blake Bortles that out Tyrod when we lost in the playoffs. He ran for more yards than Tyrod, and I think threw for a couple yards against us.
We had 375 total yards to their 295. But we had 4 turnovers.
Yeah, those 2 EJ Manuel turnovers, they hurt. I think he might have thrown a pick 6. Now, I don't want to go too far now because you guys know for me, I don't have that kind of memory. You do. I don't even profess to. I don't know how they do it. Hats off to Soap and hats off to all those guys. Yeah, that was 2003 where I was sitting in. I don't know any of this stuff. And I don't profess to know. So don't fact check me when it comes to stuff like that. Just don't, because I'm going to tell you you're right regardless. I don't even care. You're right.
Put chicken wings on the line, you'll remember.
I probably still won't. And that's why I would never bet chicken wings on a game. I don't know when things happen. I watched them all, but I don't know when they happen. I know things happen. I can tell you how I felt, but I don't remember what day of the week, what game, how the weather was. And some people can do that.
All right.
Some people can do that. But my keys to victory, once again, discipline. Play fast. Again. And that's for the whole team, because you can dictate this game very easily.
Yeah.
You can dictate this game. The offensive line is there for the taking, but we're going to rely on our defensive line to eat up the gap protect again. They've been doing really well against it. I'm not touching anything, but they did. Ooh, sucker. That's the wrong football.
I'm just trying to make sure we get it off the video in case it was playing.
No, I muted it.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah. But, what was that? Oh, yes. Offensively,
yeah.
Josh Allen, once again, less is more. Dictate the game, command the offense, and follow the game plan. Offensive line-wise, we just got to go out there and do what we're getting paid to do. Block. Whether it's in a run, whether it's in a pass. I think I actually do lend enough to Cromer at this point in time to say he's starting to get it. He's starting to figure it out, because we haven't been playing against cupcake lines where we're saying, oh, they're great. Playing against some good lines.
Yeah.
And they've been holding up.
Yep.
Defensively, just attack. Just attack.
Yeah.
And be disciplined on the second level, because Trevor Lawrence is going to need to get out. Once that D-line creates that bail, you got to be there to clean it up. Yep. You don't have to get sacks, but be there to clean it up. No big plays. That's really all I got for keys to the game. What do you have?
Yeah, no, I think, just you got to use their speed against them. Josh Allen, the pass rusher, is he's got some speed to him. Their middle linebackers, they got some speed to them. You just use it against them, right? You want to get them on, some of those motion plays. Screens are good against this kind of defense. You want to get them thinking. When you get them thinking, you slow them down. They're not able to use their speed the way they want to use their speed. And that's probably the best attribute that this defense has is their speed. So just use it against them. You come up with it, like I said, some screen plays, some motion plays, or something like that to force them to use eye discipline and what's it called, to read their cues and stuff like that, and make them think a little bit more than react, so to speak. And you'll be able to pretty much do what you want defensively, because as good as they are against the run, they're going to be scared to death of the pass. The whole entire game, they're going to be scared to death of the pass. So use that to your advantage. Play action is going to play a big deal in this game. I think we're going to see something similar to what we saw against the Dolphins, honestly. I think we're going to see Diggs abuse whoever he's going against. Yeah. And I think that's going to set up things for Kincaid in the middle. I think that's going to set up, I'm willing to say Davis is going to get another big play. It may not be a touchdown, but I think he's going to have another opportunity on a play action pass or something like that, where the defense is just pissed off and they just want to they want to attack or something like that. I could see them,
or miscommunication like they've done in weeks past.
Yeah, because that's happened too. Right,
a lot.
You're right. Defensively, I think this is probably one of those games where you want to press the receivers. I would absolutely just press. Just press. You keep the safeties can stay over the top. You don't have to worry about any of that. But with a short passing game, with the average amount of yards that they get per game, and where I keep forgetting the quarterbacks' names of all these teams.
What, Trevor Lawrence?
Trevor Lawrence, yeah. Where Trevor Lawrence seems to look the most is Evan Ingram. Right now he's between him and Ridley. Those are the two guys you need to worry about. Kirk is not going to get a whole lot of looks, and Zay Jones, if I'm not mistaken, is dealing with an injury or something like that.
He's hurt. He may play this week.
Right. So he may not even be in the game. Right. I think this should be an easy test for the defense, to be honest. As long as they slow those receivers down, you can press them. I would like to see some blitzes in there just to keep Lawrence guessing a little bit. I mean, Cam Robinson coming back, that's the perfect opportunity for you to do some things that he may not be ready for the speed of at this point, right? So, and with him being suspended, he couldn't practice either, right? So this will be the perfect opportunity for you to do some things on his side to, welcome back. Yeah. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think those are some of my keys to the game. I'm telling you what, I think this is going to be another blowout win. I think this is probably going to be a 38-17 win, Bills' favor. What you got?
I think I would go with 38 to maybe 35-17. I'll take it down a little bit. I mean, it's petty, but I'll take it down a little bit just because I don't know. I
will see your 38.
Right, the price is right. Opposite. No, I just think that the jet lag I just don't like that they traveled today. I just don't like it.
I like their focus this season. It seems like they go into these games understanding that they're not gonna leave an opening for the other side to gain momentum on them. Right. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that speaks more to the job that the coaches are doing as opposed to the players. But you're right. I really wish they would have traveled earlier, but I still think this is a revenge game for the Bills. I think they're going to lay it down.
All right. And I wanted to touch on that. I forgot about it last week. I didn't forget about it Tuesday, but I didn't want to talk about it Monday. 5 minutes. Do you think we've seen the last of Tre'Davious White as a Bill?
I do.
Yeah.
I honestly do. It sucks saying it like this. But for him to have gone through what he went through with his first big injury 2 seasons ago, and for his mental state to take as long as it did, for him to trust himself coming back on the field when he was cleared at the beginning of the season last year. He was cleared, and it took him 10 weeks to come back, just on the mental side, right? He was practicing in full and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. So if I'm looking at that, and now the Achilles, which is technically a worse injury and takes longer to come back from.
Yeah. I keep going, but I just want to say I was listening to a podcast and they were interviewing a guy called the Thigh Doctor. Mm-hmm. And that's literally his name. I don't know if he has a handle or what, but he said that once you have an Achilles, and this is really a PT guy, really, he said that's like a death sentence. He said the Achilles, he said there's a step you're never going to get back.
Yep.
It's the opposite side of the knee, so it's not it's compensatory. So that means he was putting more. He was favoring his bad knee, which made that ankle pop. And so he said, he's never going to be even what he was last year coming back. So he's basically lost 2 steps in a year where he's in a contract situation. It's a void years. Right. We can gain a lot of money in a cap strap season by letting him go. I personally didn't ask that question because I want him to go, so don't think that's what I'm asking. But it's a real question. It's a real question you got to ask yourself.
I'll be the bad guy. I do because the last thing that I want, and again, this is speaking solely from a cap perspective and what's best for the team perspective. If I'm an owner, the NFL is a business, and I'm in the business of winning. And as bad as I feel for Trey White, can he help me beyond this point? The answer is no.
Yeah.
Unless he's willing to come back and maybe play safety. I could see him making the transition and being a decent safety, but he's not great against the run. So I don't know if I even want to put him in that position.
I just assume move Kyrie Elam to safety.
Nah, I need him as a corner.
Well, if I'm saying you're not getting him as a corner, so unless you get him as a corner, that's my caveat. If he's not a corner, I would move him to safety because you're losing height, Poyer probably.
Yeah.
So
and
Taylor Rapp.
Not the corner, the one that is the Wallace Light.
Oh,
I'm terrible with names today. Forgive me.
Dane Jackson.
Dane Jackson's on a 1-year contract too, so he's gone next year.
That's right.
So really, the only guy you have beyond this year is Ingram, Benford, Cam Lewis is a free agent too.
I was going to say I can't think of because the safeties are thin. I think. I think don't we only have DeMar Hamlin next year as a safety?
Yes.
Yeah. So they really dug themselves into a hole with that one.
Yep.
So but no, that and that's kind of why I said. I feel bad for asking that because, like you said, on the personal side, because he's a Bill, you want to be a Bill.
Exactly.
You want to retire a Bill. You want him not to go anywhere.
The breakdown on the field, my heart went out.
I think he knew. That's what it was. And in your mind, everything, because I keep going on my knee. I know. But when that happened, it wasn't the pain. My friends are yelling, don't look at it. Don't look at it. But I remember the first thing I said was, I'm never going to play again. That's the first thing I said. I'm never going to play again. And anybody that was there that day can attest to it. That's all I thought about. My college is gone.
Yeah.
And I'm 15. My college is gone. My mom's got to pay for this and that. It's so when I tried to play after that and I went to school, it wasn't to say I didn't care. I was numb. I was sick of school. I was sick of basketball. I hated it. I hated it all. And so to see Tre'Davious White out there crying like that, it wasn't even the pain because what they all tell you is it doesn't even hurt. They say it's like getting kicked in the back of your leg. Everybody says that they look around like, who kicked me? So that's what if you notice, every time somebody pops in the Achilles, they jump back up. Aaron Rodgers.
He did.
Kobe. Trey White. They all stand back up, and they're like, oh, I can't put weight on it. I'm limping. And then the doctor comes out, feels it, oh, man, this is what happened. That's why they can't detect it on the field because it doesn't hurt like you would expect it to.
Right.
So like you said, and we got to close now, but on the football side, the stat side, the money side, he's got to go.
He's got to go.
But on the personal side, man, you're built for life.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he'll get that treatment too.
Yeah.
But all right, we got to go. We got to get going. You especially got to get going.
It's cool. It's cool. Do your exit. I like your exit. They're eloquent.
All right, so listen, we want to thank everybody for tuning in. I have been, bugging my team to get things in place for, Patreon and GoFundMe and all that kind of stuff. So this weekend is I'm going to focus on that. I'm going to have it ready for our live show. We'll have that set up. As for the Facebook group, we got to talk about what we want to do with that. Just a little bit more. We're still putting that together, so stay tuned for that. But listen, we're up to 50-something followers on the Facebook page, man. Listen, thank you so much to everybody who's tuning in, everybody who's showing love and support and commenting and reacting to posts and stuff like that. Listen, this is why we here. We here for y'all. We here for the interaction. We're here for the reaction. All of that stuff. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't checked out the Spotify page, if you're on the go and you're driving somewhere or something like that, you can put it on in your car and drive to us.
I personally love it. Honestly, I personally love that value. That's the go-to for me.
No doubt. So we're doing our best to make what we do available for you in every aspect of your life, okay? So if there's any other way that you like to consume content, let us know. We'll get to it. No problem at all. With that being said, you got anything?
I'm good, brother.
Okay. All right. This has been the pregame episode of Bills v. Jaguars. 9:30 on Sunday. Tune in. It's going to be the only game on. It's the international show, the beatdown for the Buffalo Bills going up against the Jaguars. We hunting. It's hunting season.
Hunting
and we out to catch some Jaguars. A revenge game for the Bills. I love it. All right. For the Post Podium Podcast, home of the all truth, no sodium takes, I have been your co-host, Aramis.
And this is Key. Now, before we go, that's the only thing I want to say.
Yeah.
Have a drink for me because it's too early.
And thank you, Hokel, again. But yeah, with that being said, man, we are out.